Listen up, I got a story to tell. Mr. If you know type shit back on the banger once again. Going hard with no excuses, no white flags, no peace talk, no truces. If you know, let's go. So with that being said, I need y'all to relax. I don't care if you're at home, on the phone, on the road, putting work in at your job. I need y'all to relax. Lay back in the Maybach. Put your mental on cruise control and watch me continuously always unload this fire. You dig me? So, without no hesitation, without no further dues, let me get right into the story. But hold up, swole up. I can't get ahead of myself. I need y'all to do your man 50 grand a favor. I need y'all to hit that like button. I'll wait. It don't matter if you hit it at the beginning of the video, in the middle, or the end. You know what I mean? Hit that like button. Share the video to a family or a friend. You dig me? Leave me a comment, good or bad. And last but not least, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. And one more thing. I need y'all to hit that notification button. Cut that button on so when I pop out, it's no doubt I'm gonna give y'all a good story. We're gonna vibe out. So now, let me get into the story. This story consists of me and my man 50 grand, Darkside. You know how we ride. We down there at Calhoun State Prison. And in Calhoun State Prison, you dig, they had 3-man cells. So, the 3-man cells, right? It was a little young homie that, you know what I mean, was cool with us. And it's this body boy that was trying to manipulate him. And, you know, soon as he already realized, you know what I mean, we was cool dudes, he was trying to get up on our wing. But this the thing. I told y'all he was in the room with a body boy. And, you know, we ain't rocking like that. So we told the little homie, we was like, yo, look, check this out, bro. We need to, you need to come up out this room. Cause the body boy, he was about 30-ish. Now I mean, little homie might have been about like 19. And I know for a finny fact, you in the room, one of them, you know what I mean, if you ain't strong mentally, you might get victimized. So anyway, me and Darkside, we pulled up on the goddamn body boy like, hey, yo, check this out, man. We don't care nothing about your sexual preference, but little homie right there, you feel me? Don't touch him. Don't try to manipulate him or do something that he don't want to do. Blase this, blase that, etc., etc. So, while we was talking, guess what Darkside do? He just hauled off and smacked him. Bow! Smacked the shit out the body boy. And he ain't even did nothing. Like I said, Darkside's a whole another type predator, you feel me? So so for those who don't know what a body boy is, it's a person that's he have a different sexuality far as he supposed to be a man, but he's not that. He's a homo, you dig me? And like I said, little homie, we ain't want him to, you know what I mean, indulge in that because we took a liking to him. So now, after Darkside smacked the body boy, he was like, yo, what I did, this, that, and the third. He was like, you ain't did nothing. Darkside like, yo, you ain't did nothing yet. That just a smack to keep you in line. Like don't mess with little homie. So like, man, you ain't got to worry about that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I told the way I'll live in my lifestyle, you know what I mean? He choose his. We like, yeah, we know how y'all talk, you know what I mean? But we know some of y'all had some messed up intentions. You dig me? So now, the body boy was like, well, look, you know what I mean? I need some protection. And he wasn't flexing. We were like, well, what you need some protection for? He was like, shit, you know, cause I don't want nobody to rob me, you feel what I'm saying? I got a phone, and you know what I mean? I get to the paper. So off the rip, you know, I'm a type of person, man, like being as I'm kind of mature, I don't really judge a person by their sexuality, you dig me? You know, you do you, still there with that shit, and that's that. But if you talking paper, you know what I mean, I'm gonna listen. So Darkside was like, shit, what you talking about? He said, well, look, first, you know what I mean, I need for y'all to tell me y'all give me some type of protection. We was like, well, shit, how much you talk about paying? He was like, I tell y'all what, I give y'all a band a week. So a band a week, that's 500 a pop, and we ain't really doing nothing. So we agreed to that off top. We're like, okay, cool. And then the body boy was like, well, that ain't all I got to offer. We're like, shit. So Darkside wasn't looking crazy, because again, when these homos go to talking, you got to put them in their place off top, because if you don't, they might see it's a door open, and they're going, you know what I mean, they're going to try to do something else. So Darkside was like, yo, what you talking about something else? He said, well, look, you know, I'm a moving and shaking. I make moves, you know, I go to VI, do my thing, and I stopped doing what I do because people was taking my shit when I came back. So we was like, all right, well, what you gonna give us out of that? Like, I'm cool with the 500, you know what I mean? Darkside, he gonna get the most out of the situation. So I was like, look, I tell you what, every 40 balloons I get, you feel me? I give y'all 10. So that's cool. You know what I mean? I'm good with it. Dark said, all right, well, look, I tell you what. Dark was like, yo, we need a favor from you. Anytime these folks run down in here, we need you to voila magic, make this shit disappear. If you know, you know. He was like, yeah, he said, I ain't got no problem. Again, in chain gang, you got to know how to utilize people and things that's around you. So now that we got an understanding on business, you under our protection, you feel me? And we told you hands off, little homie, like that shit don't come back up. So the sissy was I'm not gonna say a man of his word, he was a individual of his word. He went to visitation, worked this 1 and 2 because he just came from a camp and had the whole camp on lock. But again, dudes started putting the press down. He was going to visitation. They was taking his stuff. You know, I'm a believer like this. You know what I mean? They say finesse game the best game. I'm quite sure if somebody would have talked to him, they ain't even had to put the press down the muscle, but they was guerrilling and taking the shit. And then they weren't getting everything. How do I know this? I found this out later on. But anyway, the dude, what was his name? Dude name was Justice. So Justice was, you know, going to visitation, coming back with, you know what I mean, and breaking me and Darkside off. And every first of the month, he give us a band, 500 a piece, whether we wanted Cash App, whether we wanted the Green Dot, JPay, Store Goods, you know what I mean? He always cut that check on time. We ain't got to go look for him or nothing. But guess what happened? And ain't no capping. He was trying to little homie up after we done told him, don't mess with him. So little homie come to it like, yo, man, I need to holler at y'all. We're like, yo, what's up? He like, man, Justin just tried me. I'm like, yo, what you mean just tried you? He like, man, he came out the shower and took his towel off in front of me and went to lather. And I'm like, what? So immediately, Darkside like, yo, let's go with it right now, bro. Man, when we went over there, the dude was dressed. He just told us this happened the previous day. But this a whole nother day. Like, little homie was kind of shook and he didn't want to tell us. You feel me? Like, he just didn't have it in him. And it shows he didn't have it in him because that's why the body boy Justin tried him up. So, man, we went over there, knocked on the door. He like, come in. And when we came in, he already seen it. He like, oh, y'all let me explain. Darkside punched him dead as shit. Bow! And when he punched him, he went back to the cell. Darkside grabbed him by his neck and put the knife on the chest and just slid down the chest with the blade. And he went to hollering. I'm like this. Bro, hold up. The reason I'm telling him hold up because, you know, for one, we getting money with this dude. You dig? And for two, like, I'm not trying to go to hole. And for three, lil homie is like, he not somebody we got loyal ties to. It's just a little dude, you know what I mean, that we basically took up on our wing. But I get it. Bruh is non-tolerant. So as bro on top of him, y'all got to be mindful. Darkside a big dude, you know what I mean? He got him by his throat and he's like, he ain't carving his name on his chest, but he got the knife going across the dude's chest. Justin is on the floor kicking and scratching, hollering and screaming. You feel me? So the only thing I could do is, stand by. Well, I mean, stand by. I'm by the door, making sure ain't no CO on the floor or no CO came in the dormitory. And after Darkside cut him up a little bit, he put the knife in the ground and he just smacking him, talking to him. He's like, yo, what the fuck I told you, though? That's my little man. Y'all don't touch him. He's like, well, I ain't touching him. He said, don't be getting undressed around him, because at the end of the day, we know from experience, like, how they rock out. A sissy job and chain gang, they were trying to turn you out, especially if you young, you don't know no better. So Darkside, me, myself, and I, we were trying to prevent that. So now Justin on the floor kicking and scratching, hollering and screaming. He done came in contact with this demon. You dig me? So after Darkside got up, because the dude he went to bleeding, like it was coming out of the chest, like you couldn't stop it. So now I'm gonna tell you how evil Darkside was. So the dude just was like, yo, I need to go to medical. Dark said, yo, you ain't going to medical. You better band yourself up. He said, give me your ID card. So Darkside got Justin ID card, you dig me? And he said, this my insurance. He said, if you go to medical, he said, if you go to PC, he said, I promise you, and this is a Fendi fact, wherever you at, I'm going to hunt you down. He said, now play with me. So like, yo, he said, hey, Ghost, come on. So look, I was happy to get up out of there. You know what I mean? So little homie, the one who we tried, he's in on the big floor. He like, man, what y'all do? He said, man, don't worry about it. He said, yo, just don't go over there for a minute. So we in the day room, we sitting there watching TV. So we were like, yo, check this out. You need to chill, just stay out here with us. So we basically giving little homie the do's and don'ts and the wills of one. We were like, yo, next time somebody try like that, go dead in the shit. Cause he was trying you up, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, bro, I just ain't no respond. Again, that gangster shit and just being a thug or a real one or a person that's gonna handle your business, it wasn't that little homie. He just made a mistake in the free world, caught a charge, and he came to prison. So we sitting there schooling little homie and tell him like, look, bro, don't never let that happen. When it happen, you better get to clapping. So like when we talk to him, we keep cutting our eyes over the door. And the body boy, Justin, he done put his flap up and he keep peeping out. He trying to see what's going on. And he probably kept his flap up for about like, I don't know, maybe an hour. So now they call count time. Count time, count time. Okay, this is the moment of truth. You feel me? Because this is the perfect time to catch out. So for those who don't know what catching out means, catching out is basically you do something to get the police attention. Like he could be going by and you smack him or clip him. That's assault and assault. That's enough to get you locked up. Now, that mean you caught out. So the police came by. Everybody get by your cell. Everybody get by your cell. So me, myself, and I type shit. I go by my cell. Darkside go by his cell. And little homie go by his cell. Remember I told y'all it's a 3-man room. So the other dude that was in the room with him, you feel me? He was at his detail. So they counting. They got the clipboard. They counting. They counted first time, miscount. And to be so educated, man, these damn COs, they goddamn slow. You got to know. Like, it don't take that long to count that many people. And if you got a clipboard and you signing you checking their name as you count, how the hell do you get the count wrong? You dig? So the second officer, he get the count wrong. And dude be antsy. What I mean by antsy, they ready to get back, you know what I mean, to what they was doing. Whatever they was doing, whether it was domino, watching the TV, chess, checkers, whatever the case may have you. So now they're like, hold up, we gotta recount. So dudes go to cuss them out. Man, y'all stupid, this, and the third, blight this, blight that. But again, they gotta get their count right or we can't, do nothing. So they count again. So now when they count, they knock on Justin and little homie door and be like, how many in there? He said 1. He said, man, I need to see your face. So now I'm over there, I'm looking crazy because I know when this door pop, it's over with finito, because I told you Darkside cut him up pretty bad. But the dude, Justin, man, he had wrapped himself up real good, and he had his state shirt, his t-shirt, state shirt, sweater, and he had a jacket on. He like, when the CEO opened the door, he was wrapped up like a mummy, like you couldn't tell nothing. So that was the matter. That was what the matter was. The count. The count was messed up because, again, Justin was in his room, patching his wounds up. So now they counted, you dig, and they left. So after that, everybody went to doing their thing. So little homie like, man, can I go in the room? We were like, yeah, you good. So we went in the room and like, yo, leave the door open. So we left the door open. We were just checking Justin body language, because again, just because he was wrapped up, that don't mean he don't want to go to PC, because again, he just took some real knife wounds to the chest and he really need medical help. So he stayed in his room, man, and he didn't come out none that day. So when they called lockdown, that's when, I with the word, Darkside don't care. You know what I mean? Really, I don't care, because like I said, I'd have been locked down so many times, you know what I mean? I done got immune to it. But lockdown account came, you feel me? They had locked us in our cell, and I'm by myself the whole time, people with my peeping ass. You know what I mean? Because I know for a finny fact, if these people see this dude chest cut up like it is, we going to the hole, you know what I mean? But he didn't tell, they didn't catch it, next day come. So next day come, you dig, Justin sent somebody to my cell and was like, man, tell Gohard to come here. So me, myself, and I type shit to keep confusion down. Anytime I deal with a body boy, I always keep somebody that's close to me, I'm cool with, I get them to come with me. So, you know what I mean? Because again, chain gang, you know what I mean, dudes be gossiping. Like, it don't take nothing for a person to see you with a body boy in the room and, speculation. So like I said, to secure me, I make sure anytime I go talk to him, I had somebody cool with me. So when the message came to me, Justin wanted to holler at me, I called one of my homies. I said, hey, bro, come to the cell with me. Because Darkside, he was still in there, you know what I mean, in the room doing what he do. So I went on, I'm like, what's up? He said, man, I need medical help. I said, what you mean? I said, man, you better get some ointment and goddamn, you feel me, wipe you down. You know what I mean? We're like, man, he said, man, look, I said, man, ho. I said, I don't want to see nothing that you got going on. He said, man, go hard, I'm telling you, man, I need to go to medical. So he had unwrapped the top part of his body, because like I said, Darkside only carved him up top. And guess what? It ain't looking too good. Like, you can tell he needs some stitches. You feel me? He ain't gonna make it. Like, the way it was looking, if he don't get no medical help soon, them wounds gonna turn into gangrene, know what I mean? And it might be finito, it might be over with. So, us being a chain gang, we got a chain gang doctor on standby. So I go tell Darkside, I said, hey, bro. I said, man, Justin ain't gonna make it, man. He like, what you mean? He said, man, hell with that body boy, man. I said, bruh, Justin not gonna make it. I said, he needs some help. So it's this dude named Doc. Matter of fact, his name was the Doc. He was the chain gang doctor. His position, basically, if somebody gets stabbed up in a dormitory or something like that happen, it's your job to patch him up. So we go to Doc, we're like, hey, look, yo, check this out, Doc. We said, man, it's a dude over in the cell. He told me, about that body boy? We're like, yeah, the body boy. He was like, look, man, we doing business with him, you know what I mean? We ain't trying to let him go to the hole. We need you to stitch him up with your charges. He was like, man, well, depending on how bad he messed up. So I look at Darkside. Darkside looked at me. He said, bro, what you think? I said, nigga, you the one who carved him up. You feel what I'm saying? He said, well, look, I can't really taste it. Let's go over to a cell. So when we went over there, man, as soon as he seen Darkside, he went into panic and shock mode. Pause. Y'all excuse me, you know what I mean? I'm in the whip, you feel me? Cars around by, so you know what I mean? If the sound kind of awkward, y'all part and self for that. I'll make it for the next video, you dig? But we went over there. As soon as he seen Darkside, he jumped back and went to the back of the cell and he went to shaking. You feel me? He went to Harlem shaking. So Darkside like, yo, man, chill the fuck out, man. He said, man, I ain't come to do nothing to you, man. He said, we just trying to help you. So Justin just wasn't comfortable around Darkside no more. I wasn't either. After he done called me up. So Darkside, yo, take that shit off. So he got his shirt, he squeezing himself. What I mean squeezing himself, like he grabbing the jacket, he just terrified. So I said, hey, bro. I said, yo, let me handle it, man. I said, man, cause look, man, dude is terrified of you. He said, man, I don't know what the hell he's scared for. He said, man, I ain't going. He said, man, long as you do what you're supposed to do, we told you not to mess with little homie, you did, and that's what you get. So I said, bro, listen, man. And one thing about it, Darkside is worse than Evil Folk. He don't have no people skills. You dig? So I said, bro, step out. Let me handle it. So, man, Darkside, he stepped out, right? And he gave me that evil grin, like, but he you know what I mean? He listened to what I said. He walked out the room. So now, when he walked out the room, me and Doc, we poured the door up. So he finally kind of felt comfortable. He took his jacket off, but he's still scared. You feel me? And now, when he pulled his jacket off, man, Doc seen his wounds. He said, hey, bro. He said, man, I'm at least gonna need $500 for this. So I'm like, 500? He said, man, look, man, do you see his chest? He said, man, y'all lucky he didn't bleed out last night. We were like, man, look, bro. Okay, that was last night. We talked about the day, man. He said, man, look, I told y'all, like I said, well, I told you, I need $500 to take care of this. We're like, all right, cool, say less. But let me go holler my mans now. So I go holler Darkside. I said, hey, bro, check this out, man. I said, Doc gonna charge us $500. He's like, $500 for what? I'm looking at bro, I'm like, what you mean for what? You almost unalive, dude, man. Like, it's either this or he go to medical and expose what happened and they come lock us up, bro. So he thinking, I'm like, bro, look, this ain't really nothing to talk about. This ain't nothing negotiated, man. Like, bro, we already made some money off on, man. We gonna get it right back. You know what I mean? Spend that money, get it right back. So like, all right, bro, man. So he like, man, what's your cash app? So he sent me $250 to the cash app, you dig me? And I went back over there to the room. So Doc like, hey, man, hold up, man. I need to go get my gloves. He said, let me go get my utensils. So I walked Doc over there to his room. He went and got some gloves, some sewing needles, chain gang needle that he made, and some alcohol, some gauze, and some alcohol pads, and some peroxide. Doc had the whole kit. So we go back over there. So I'm sitting on the sink, because, you know, somebody got to secure the area. I said, yo, Doc, how long is this going to take? He said, man, it's going to take about like 2 hours. So, you know, it's kind of early. You know, they don't count to another like 3 hours type shit, so we good. So now, when we get over there, he told Justin to lay on his back. You feel me? I'm like I said, I'm on the door patrolling the area, and I'm like, damn, he ain't gonna give him no pain pills or nothing. You feel me? So Justin laying there, and Justin is a high yellow red dude, and like I said, the wounds look terrifying. You know what I mean? And Doc got on top of him, no homo. Well, he got where his chest was at, and went to sewing. Justin is kicking and scratching, hollering and screaming. You feel me? I said, Doc, hold up, man, hold up. I said, you ain't gonna give him enough for pain? Get what Doc said. Oh, he forgot. So that lets you know right there, he ain't certified. He is not certified. So Doc went in this his little pouch he had made, you feel me? He got some Benadryl, some aspirin, and some Tylenols. He said, look, take one apiece. I'm like, man, there ain't no damn pain pills. But he gave them to Justin. Justin popped the pain pills. He said, man, this ain't gonna kick it right now. He said, man, I need a blunt. So I had, I rolled my blunt, gave him the blunt, like, you might need to smoke this. So Justin, he lit up the blunt. Like I said, y'all gotta be mindful, you on his back. So he said, man, I need something to drink. So I go hide the liquor, man. I said, yo, let me get a bottle of white light and put it on my credit. So he give me a bottle of white light and type shit, you feel me? I go back to Justin and gave it to him. Justin turned it up. So look, he said, y'all hold, he said, hey doc, hold up for a minute, hold up. So we might have waited for about like 5 minutes until, you know what I mean, the Benadryl, Advil, and Tylenol and everything start kicking in. He said, okay, I'm thinking I'm good. So, man, doc, you know, basically started doing their job. And you know, people with my peeping ass, I probably be doing security watching out, but you know what I mean? I want to see this go down. Like, I never seen nobody get sold up. You feel me? Doc is going in. He's sawing them. I'm like, man, ain't no way in the hell. You feel what I'm saying? Even though dude was a body boy, was a sissy, I ain't gonna flex. He was squirming a little bit, but you know, it's either that or you go to medical. And then again, the way you look, they're gonna lock you down. And he ain't wanna go to lockdown. So Doc sawing him up. And it took, man, like, it ain't take no 2 hours. It might took like an hour and some change, man. And I'm like this. Like, when he put the needle in and this what messed me up. When he pulled the needle, you could see his skin pulling off his upper body, his chest. I'm like, oh, shit. Look, it feel like dude saw me up. You dig? But he continuously sewed him up. And within, like I say, like an hour, 20 minutes after the last piece of, after the last wound, he tied it and then he cut it with the scissors. And then he he got some alcohol pads. Now, y'all know it's a difference between alcohol and peroxide, right? Man, doctor hit him with them alcohol pads. And man, that dude, Justin, with the kicking and scratching and hollering and screaming. You feel me? He said, damn it, hold up. He said, what the hell is that? He said, them alcohol pads. He said, man, don't put no down. He said, man, use the peroxide. Like, Justin had to coach Doc what to do. Again, Doc is a bootleg doctor, man. He ain't proper. He not official tissue. You feel me? He just knew a little something. So Doc had got some some gauze and put the peroxide on it, and he had patted around the dude's wounds. You feel me? So I'm like this. I'm just looking. I'm like, man, ain't no way in the, I ain't gonna flex, y'all. I might have tapped out. I'm going to Free World Hospital. Like, you ain't about to, like, it was just a crazy scene, man, to sit there and watch a dude get sewed up. Like, for real. So now, at these Justin got up, right? Man, Justin's whole chest is fire red. Now, I mean, I guess from him getting sewed up. So he like, man, this shit hurt. He like, man, look. He said, hey, look, take 2 more of these Tylenol and 2 more of these damn Advils and finish that blunt. You gonna be all right. So look, Justin was like, all right, man. He said, man, I appreciate you, go home. I'm like, yeah, all right. So look, me and Doc, we left. So I went back to Darkside. I said, he said, how it go? I said, what the hell you mean, how it go? I said, man, when Doc did his thing, Doc sold him up, you feel me? So he sold, me and Darkside, I said, bruh, you can't be just doing that, bro. He said, man, he shouldn't have tried a little homie. I said, y'all understand that, bro? We could have just beat him up or something, man. You'd have carved this man up, you feel me? So, probably like, I'm gonna say like 2 days passed. So, little homie, he can't take being in the room with Justin no more. Like, he'd have been tried, you feel me? And Justin dealing with this chest carving. He got these stitches, these chain gang stitches in his chest. He's in pain, you know what I mean? Because I'm tired on them Advil, they weren't doing nothing. They don't keep it 100, you know? It might do something for a little while, but overall, they weren't doing nothing. Because Lil Hum was telling us, you know what I mean, night, you feel me? Justin was tossing and turning to sleep, you know what I mean? Hollering and shit, you did. He said he had to come up out of there. So we had got him a new room, and he was happy. Now, I mean, I won't tell you what happened. We put a dude in the door. I won't keep it real with y'all. Know what I mean? Like, anybody can get it, man. Like I said, when it comes, and that's another thing we did in Chain Gang. If you a dude that we rock with, you cool with us, you family, you know what I mean? If you want a room or you in the hole, somebody going in the door, real rap. So anyway, we got little homie up out of there. We're gonna say probably like a week passed. So now it's kind of a drought in the dorm. Ain't no Al Green, know what I mean? The movers and shakers and playmakers, they ain't busting no moves, so guess what we do? We go to the Justin. So when we went in the room, Darkside was like, hey, yo, hey, you ready? He was like, ready for what? He was like, you need to take your ass to visitation. You know what I mean? He said, man, Darkside, he said, I'm still healing. Dark said, man, I don't give a fuck about none of that, and walked up on him and punched him dead in his shit. Bow! So I grabbed bro. I'm like, bro, chill the hell out, bro. I said, man, you gonna unalive the dude, man. I said, man, bro, that ain't what's going on. He said, man, bro. He said, man, you better do what the fuck I say. I'm like, man, bro, the man's still healing. Like, he still got stitches in his chest. And he's sore, you feel me? So Darkside said, hey, he said, you heard what I said. He said, in the next week, he said, you better get right and take your ass up to visitation and do what you need to do. He said, man, I need some Al Green. And then again, the dorm, like I said, had a drought in it, no doubt. So about 4 days passed. I seen Darkside go to his cell. You feel me? You ain't right yet. He said, man, oh, you think I'm playing? He said, you got 3 more days. So get what Justin did. He called Doc over there. He said, hey, Doc. He said, man, look, I need you to do something to these stitches. So he went over there, you know what I mean? He looked at them. And normally, it probably take a week for stitches to come out. Because I done had stitches myself. You know what I mean? A dude hit me with a machete in my back. I want to tell y'all a story about that. Y'all stay tuned, real rap. But he told him, he like, hey, man, look, I need you to take these stitches out. So like, you sure? He like, it's on you. So boom, Doc went on to the cell, you know what I mean? I went over there, stood security for me to sink. And, you know what I mean? We gave him a little razzle-dazzle, a little something to get his mind right, to get his mind off the pain. And Doc took the stitches out of the chest, one by one. And it wasn't fun. He hollered like, you should have kept him in there. Like, I don't see the reason, the purpose you got him took out. But again, Doc really ain't saw him up right, you feel me? But you can tell his skin is, you know, it's coming to a head, so to speak. Like, it's coming back together, you feel me? So Doc took the stitches out, like line by line. And, you know, after he took them out, you know what I mean? The wound still looked messed up. But, you know what I mean? He told Doc, thank you, and we left. So when we was leaving, Darkside was like, hey, yo, man, what's up with that dude, man? Like, is he going up there or not? We say, bro, man, listen, man, the dude got to heal up, man. Like, he got 3 more days. Give him, you know what I mean? Give him time. So make a long story short, the dude, Justin, he healed up, I think, and they called his name to visitation. He went up there, you know, worked his 1 and 2s and came back with a little cutie pot type shit, you feel me? Man, Darkside was on him. Like, soon as he came in the room, like, you don't know how you got to get this out. Darkside didn't care. Darkside opened the door. He said, where that shit at? He said, come Buffalo right now. He said, man, Darkside. Darkside went up top on. Bow! He said, motherfucker, don't talk back to me. You feel me? So, just said, man, look, give me a minute, man. He said, I promise you, man, as soon as I got them get it out, man, I'm going to give it to you. So, Darkside came out the room. I'm sitting on the table. I'm like this. I'm just shaking my head, man. You feel me? But anyway, after he finished doing what he doing, you know what I mean, getting everything clean and right, you know what I mean, he opened the door, told me Darkside that came there, instead of 10 balloons, he gave us 20 balloons. And he saved the day, you feel me? So, you know, we get what we do, you know what I mean? We blessed the dormitory. Before we did that, you know, Darkside went in the room. We got we ain't even had no blunts at the time, so we had to chain it out. We got some paper towels, you know what I mean, put some coffee on it. And coffee, it'll take away from the harshness. Like, it won't be so harsh, so to speak. So, you know what I mean, we dry it off and we roll up, you feel me, smoke 1 or 2, and that's what it do. So now, the end result to Justin, let me tell you what happened. They said Tactical squad, like 2-3 days passed, you dig me? Tactical squad had rolled up, but normally we'll have a lookout, man, you dig, watching out for us, the back gate, so we'll have a heads up, knowing that they coming. But the dude that we had looking out for us, he was slacking on his Mac and slipping on his pimping, you dig? And when we realized the tactical squad was on compound, don't you hear him left, right, left? It was too late. So now remember, I told you, everybody have the person that they depend on in the emergency crisis. So Justin had about 7 people. You know what I mean? They take them their phones, their chargers, Bluetooth, Al Green, Bobby Brown. Like, I don't know what he was doing with all that. You feel me? But he'll make it disappear. You feel me? But anyway, make a long story short, right? When we heard them marching, and when the tactical squad come, they come like maybe 140 deep type shit. You know, they separate in like 3 or 4 teams. 40 go this way, 40 go that way, 40 go this way. You know what I mean? They hit the hole, the dormitory that they keep getting kites on, and they gonna hit the other side. Yeah, 40 type shit. So now, it was a real unfortunate act, man. Cause like I said, the tech squad came in, and Justin just bit off more you can chew. And he tried to make a lot of that stuff disappear, and he was bleeding from the backside. Like, he tried to make the phone disappear. Like, chain gang crazy, y'all. Like I said, man, stay out of prison. I'll make a long story short, man. When the tactical squad member got to his door, the first thing you hear, what the fuck? So his chest, like I said, was still messed up. You dig? And he was trying to suitcase the phones. And when the tactical squad dude opened the door, he was bleeding out the backside. And like I said, man, it was a real tragic event. But again,